Hey guys, Cyndi Williams here from Careers on Vacation. How's everyone doing today? I wanted to talk about kind of a touchy topic, like how do you break up with your boss in the most authentic, real way possible? How do you go through that process? Um, and the reason this topic kind of came up is a few of you in the program now have recently struggled with this, and it made me realize, wow, if we have this, three or four people that are going through this angst and anxiety after changing or having to even think about going through the process of either launching your own travel business or changing careers or changing who you work for, or however you came across this video. But there is some anxiety over, how do I break up with my boss in terms of the employer-employee relationship. And for some of you, that causes some strife and some anxiety. So I want to talk through just some talking points to think about. The first one is, once you've made the decision to move on from whatever your situation is right now, maybe you're starting your own business, maybe you're starting your own agency, maybe you're going to work for a different agency, maybe you're changing careers, I don't know. Whatever the case is, talk to your employer and be truthful. You don't and will never have control over how the other person responds to that news. If you are a highly valued employee, if you are someone who's been with them for a long time, if they've nurtured you and mentored you to some degree, it can be a situation where they might not have the best reaction, or they might surprise you with a reaction. But either way, you have no freaking control over it. All you can do is what the best thing for you to do is, in terms of you listening to your inside voice, you following your path, you following your bliss. And so a lot of times people get stuck right there. They make the decision that they know they're supposed to be going a different direction, but then they're like, oh, how am I going to tell my boss? How am I going to make this change? So it's important to recognize at this stage in the game, beyond you work for your employer and they pay you for your work, you don't owe them a lot beyond that. I mean, that's the truth. Yes, they may have helped your career and mentored, but guess what? Through their help and mentorship, it also helps them build their business. So recognize that as well, in terms of if you're having some anxiety over that conversation. But first step of the process is just be truthful. Schedule a meeting where the two of you can have some one-on-one time and just speak from your heart and speak from what's authentic to you, and say, hey, let's say Fred is our boss. Fred, thank you so much for the last 2 years. I've learned a lot. I've made the decision to move on and XYZ, or I've made the decision to move on. I will be submitting my 2 weeks notice, and I have enjoyed the time that I worked with you. I hope you can, support me in this transition and understand the reasons why, and just be authentic. That's all you can ask in that process. And sometimes you do have to be prepared to answer questions, or they might, sometimes employers will be hurt or surprised by the news. And that's okay too, because we're all humans. But when you come from a place that's authentic and it's love, that's all you can do. You can't really control their reaction. So be truthful, extend the olive branch by, that whole piece of, our relationship in terms of an employee relationship has meant a lot to me. I've learned a lot from you. So thank you for that. Thank you for your mentorship. And I hope that you'll support me as I continue to grow in the industry. So you're extending the olive branch, just saying, hey, look, I'm thanking you for the time that I've spent here. I know that I've helped your business. I'm moving on, and I hope you can do me the goodwill of wishing me the same. And that's all. That's the most you can hope for in that situation, that you have a good relationship moving forward. I'm going to tell a quick story here. So you guys, a lot of you know, if you watch some of our videos, that my husband and I used to own a franchise. It was a cleaning franchise. And we were big. Like, we were in the top 5-6 offices in the whole US and Canada for revenues every single month. I mean, we were at one point doing $1.7 million a year on an annual basis. So when we decided to make the change, and I really was like, I was running travel at the same time and having this other business, it just became where I just wanted to focus on travel. I wanted to follow my passion. I wanted to do what I love every day. And I wanted to let that piece go. So I had to have a similar conversation with the franchisor. And I called and I said, hey, here's where I'm at. And same conversation. I really appreciate everything that I learned. We had a great time being part of this franchise network. And we only think great things about your company. And we hope that you'll support us through this transition. And to their credit, and keep in mind, we were a top producer. So, our royalty checks were anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000 a month that we were writing in to the franchisor. So we were a high producing office for them. But to their credit, the finances didn't come first in that conversation. We as people came first. And their response was, Cyndi, we hope that you do even more amazing things in your next industry than you did here. We are so sad and, to lose you, but we love you and we hope the best for you. We'll be following you. We'll be watching you. We'll be cheering for you. Thank you for the time that you spent in our family here, and wish you the best. And from whether it's a franchisee, franchisor, or employee, that is the way you handle that conversation. Because there is as an employer, so if you are an employer and you have employees, take note of this as well. If people are operating from a place of lack, if your boss or your company you work for, if they're operating from a place of lack and not from a loving place, then they will have a tendency to go, oh, how's that going to affect my business? Or, oh, how's that going to affect me? Instead of, wow, this news catches me a surprise. We're going to be so sad to lose you. But of course, I support you as a person first. I care about you as a person first. When you have this conversation, good or bad, true colors will come out. And it's better that you find out now than you work for that same company for another 3-5 years or whatever the case is, right? And you have no control over how the reaction is going to go. All you can do is go in with your intention of you're doing something new now. You're going to do it from a loving place. You're going to be thankful and thank them for the time and mentorship that they provided. And, say, I hope that you wish me the same. I wish your company all the success in the world. And I hope that you do the same for me as I move forward into my next path and on my journey. So that's the next step. Just extend that olive branch, take the high road, no matter what happens. If they get messy, if there's drama, if it's one of those situations where you have, a boss who comes unhinged, or again, that is not, you have no control over their reaction. You don't have to care about it anymore either. That's the other thing. You can decide in that moment that I did the best I could. I came from an authentic place. They know I'm moving on, and take the high road. Don't get invested in gossip, in conversation, in whatever. That's low vibration stuff. Like if you're about to be a business owner, or you're about to start a new journey, whatever you're doing, you don't have time to live down here in low vibrations. You have to be laser focused on what your next path is and what you're going to do. And it's really easy to go, oh my gosh, well, they think this about me, or they think that about me. And it can turn into, oh, now you're carrying all the weight of this icky situation, and you don't have to. So if it does go down that path, your next step would be to clear those disappointments. Let it go with love and light. We say when we deal with situations or with people or with things that, you don't have control over and really don't matter in the big scope of things, or don't matter in terms of what your path is, what you've chosen to do as you go forward. Let it go with love and light. Whatever they're saying, even if it's yucky or nasty or not the nicest thing in the world, if it's that versus the other type of response that's so great and supportive, let it go with love and light. I wish them well with love and light. They're only going to get so far, by the way, in that mind frame of lack and scarcity. So they're going through their own cycle, and they're in a different place vibrationally than you are as you start to do something new. So if there is disappointment in that process or in that conversation, just let it go. You can choose not to participate. Choose not to participate in that. If you have a great response, then good. It'll be like an awesome surprise. Like, and so many times in my career, when I had great bosses, when I was in the corporate world, I'd have a boss go, oh, like I got promoted one time and I had been with a company, oh, I don't know, 7, 8 years, a while. And I loved my boss. I loved working with her. I learned so much from her. And I just got an amazing offer from another company. And I went and I talked to her and I said, oh, look, I know you can't match this offer for what this company's offering me, but I want you to know I'm so thankful for your mentorship and the time. And she's like, oh, I hate that I can't match that offer. Like, I would love to keep you, but I love you, Cyndi. Like, I hope the best for you. Go, you know, and to this day, we're still friends. And to this day, you know, she'll call me for travel stuff, and sometimes I'll call her for advice because she is, you know, the best at what she does from a business perspective. So we supported each other into our next phases. And we're still friends. And I know I could pick up the phone and call her if I needed anything or needed advice. So whether you're an employee or an employer, remember, fostering relationships is really important. So if the conversation goes great, then you kind of get a boost and you can choose to participate in the boost. Oh my gosh, it's so great to know that they're supporting me. Either way it goes, though, you have a choice. You clear the disappointment, or you go ahead and accept that boost of energy and yes, you move on with your path. And the last step is stay laser focused. Whatever you've decided to do, and you get past this initial conversation that you know is going to be a little bit tough or a little bit difficult, guess what? You're doing something new. You're about to go through a lot of different changes. Or if you're starting your own business, you have to get tough around the edges to do some of the things you're going to need to do in business. This is just the first thing you have to do. So boom, it's done, it's over, celebrate. It's over and celebrate. But stay laser focused. Okay, that piece of the puzzle is done. Now what? What is my focus? Rather than getting involved in all the drama that could potentially surround a situation like that. Stay laser focused on what your path is. So I hope this video is helpful for those of you that are considering a change. It's something that all of us do in our careers. So it's something we all go through. There's no reason to be anxious about it. You know, just stay in your truth of what you're trying to accomplish and then move forward from there and follow those rules. Be truthful, extend the olive branch, take the high road always, clear the disappointment if you need to, and stay laser focused. You guys got this. You got it. I promise. Stay in high vibration. All right, guys, much love, much abundance. I'm Cyndi Williams from careersonvacation.com. If you are looking to supersize and play it big in travel or launch your own travel agency, make sure you book a discovery call with my team so we can get you guys started. Take care. Bye.